Welcome to another episode of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh, and we're going to talk about the Nintendo Direct and my thoughts, my feelings. And I got to say, I'm honestly feeling pretty good. I'm glad that I waited a little bit to talk about this because my initial response, I was a little bit bummed out. But I was bummed out for the wrong reasons. And it honestly, it took me hanging out on the Nintendo Byte podcast with Nintendo Prime. And he was like, yo, I'm stoked. I don't care about what anybody else's feelings. And that's where I was getting caught up. I was getting caught up in the fact that like, I wanted everybody hyped. I can't help that. So I am hyped. I enjoyed this Direct. I initially gave it a B. I might even give it a little bit higher because I'm very, very excited. This Direct did one of those things that to me is very special. It got me going back and playing the older games. I played Mario Tennis Aces. I played Three Houses. I'm so bad at it. Aces, not so much. Aces, I had a great time with. I actually found a handful of little tournaments that I hadn't done yet in Aces against the computer. And I have one more to do. And that was super fun because it's a ghost town. There's nobody playing. But I jumped back into Aces. I loved Aces. Still love Aces. And so we're just going to go through this Direct. It's starting off right here. If you're watching this either on YouTube or Spotify, I got the video up of the Direct. They're showing all kinds of classic artwork from Super Mario Brothers because it is the 40th anniversary. I will say I had high expectations for a lot of this. That may also have played into why I was a little bit bummed out because I went into this thing with huge expectations. But a lot of those things have been dialed back. I realize now, I think I can see very clearly from a business perspective what Nintendo is doing. And they've got this thing on lock. They've got the holidays on lock, and we're getting a lot. It may not be for everybody, and that is where the biggest disconnect is, I think, across the board. I've got tweets doing some crazy numbers right now just talking about this Direct and how there's not something for everybody. So I get it. And I get the frustration. There's also a lot of talk about the pricing. And Day One DLC was mentioned quite a bit during this Direct. That sometimes leaves a bad taste in people's mouths. Now, I know how Pokemon games work. From my understanding, and maybe we'll get some clarity as we watch here, I don't think the DLC is dropping day one. I think they're just saying, hey, you can pre-order this and it's going to be coming down the road. That being said, it would be nice if maybe they did a deluxe version that had some cool stuff and it included that, whatever the case may be. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the route that they're going. And part of the way I was thinking they were attacking the holiday, I saw today on Twitter that it may not be the case. I thought they'd be going into the holiday with two bundles, Mario Kart and Pokemon. But I did see a tweet from one of the leakers saying that the Mario Kart bundle is wrapping up. I don't buy it personally, but we'll have to wait and see because I feel like they're going to hit this thing from two fronts. Pokemon, Mario Kart, that is their holiday games. Those are their biggest games, keep in mind. Some of their biggest games, Mario Kart being their biggest game. Pokemon always doing numbers in the top 10 for sales for Switch 1. They're knocking it out of the park. I think what's happening is those of us that have been early adopters, we want more. We're hungry for more. So enough of that. Let's jump into this Direct. So 40th anniversary, Super Mario Brothers. They're showing us how they're going to be doing the Kyoto Marathon in 2026, and they're going through and showing a bunch of the older Super Mario Brothers games from 2D and 3D. So great to see just the history all the way to mobile. They even showed Mario Run on there, and they're just talking about how Mario is going to be in the race, and Nintendo's going to have their branding on this kind of stuff. I think it's fantastic. I love that they're kind of part of the community, right? Nintendo is very much part of the community in Seattle with the Mariners, and they even just had a Mario Day on Sunday where you could get a Mario hat. I'm looking on eBay to see if I can find one. So jumping back to the direct here, they show us the Super Mario Brothers Galaxy, the movie. Okay, Super Mario Galaxy. I think that's the title of it. And this is our first teaser. Obviously, Rosalina, we can all assume. I mean, Luma was in the first movie, you know, being as silly as ever. What's going to be interesting is that was voice acted by, I believe, the director's daughter. And she's obviously going to be older now, so she's not going to sound the same. So I'm wondering how they're gonna do that. There's probably going to be multiple Lumas. There's so much buzz around this movie right now. Yeah, the Super Mario Galaxy movie, that they're going straight to Galaxy. A few fun little tidbits. Mario is sleeping in Super Mario Brothers 2, and that game is essentially a dream. He's sleeping at the beginning of the trailer. When you beat Galaxy or Galaxy 2, he's also sleeping. So it's kind of a throwback to that as well. And so I'm super excited about this. It's going to be fun. I've watched that first one so many times, and I know that a lot of people would say it's not a good movie, but to me it's fantastic. I loved everything about it. I think the only thing a bit concerning about this one is when they showed the cast members that were returning. There was no Seth Rogen, no Donkey Kong, so not quite sure what's going on there. If you are watching this video, you can see Bowser, a little Bowser, is playing the piano in the background there. And so I don't know if there are any other hints that we should be paying attention to. You know, you can see a Yoshi egg. You can see that duck that looks like a Duck Hunt duck. I know it's from that movie, like, what's it called? I think it's called... Oh, I cannot think of it now. It was showing during the previews for the Super Mario Brother. Like I don't know if it was called like South for the Winter. I can't remember, but anyway. So there's a Luma and a Peach. Curious about the hat. There's a hat behind him. Like, what's that about? So a lot of questions, but very excited for this. Cannot wait. I'm gonna fast forward just a bit and get into the next announcement here, and love seeing Miyamoto on the direct. Also, there is a fun little fact: if you end up going to the Nintendo Museum, make sure to take your 3DS because you can Street Pass and get Miyamoto on your Street Pass. I'm fortunate enough to already have him and Reggie and Anuma from different events that they did for Street Pass throughout the years, and so they're already in my collection. But I'd love to get another version of Miyamoto. So now we're seeing Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. These do have like their 4K up-res on Switch 2. They are getting mouse controls. There is a tiny bit of added content. I'll be completely real. The added content means nothing to me. A lot of the internet is upset that this is a $70 package. You're only getting 2 games. They're referencing the fact that you could get these games for $10 each or $20 each on the Wii U. So it's $15 more per game, or they are $40 each if you get them by themselves. At this point, I'm only like I told somebody online today because they mentioned that, and I was like, I'm only spending my money on the things that make me happy. These 2 games will make me happy. Why? Super fond memories of playing both of these games while vacationing at my parents' cabin. My kids were little. My son, who has passed, basically fell in love with both of these games as I played them. So he wasn't that into them, saw me playing them, and then he had to play all the way through them. So they hold a special place for me. I really, really enjoyed both of these games, and I have no problem paying the price to be able to play them again without having to hook up a Wii. It's somewhat of a convenience thing. I have both of these in my collection. I could hook up a Wii and play them both, but I also want to play them in the best resolution possible. And there's some added stuff to the story here, and Nintendo's doing something. They got the movie. They got these games coming out. I'm leaning towards a Galaxy 3 game. It's worth noting that New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe sales shot through the roof after the Mario movie. That was the game that people flocked to the store. I would guarantee you there were people going to stores and purchasing Mario games right after the movie. They also just showed the amiibo that are coming out. All of this it's really good business. The movie's going to come out. You're going to have amiibo. You're going to have toys essentially from the movie. You're going to have the Galaxy games that you get to jump into. And you got to remember that there are going to be children that walk out of the theater and then walk to Best Buy or Target or GameStop, drive over, whatever. And then they can be handed this game. Like, we're talking core memories. We're talking amazing. And I know this firsthand because when I was a kid, my uncle took me to see Transformers the movie, 1986. And right after, we walked over to Toys R Us or drove over to Toys R Us, and he bought me one of the Insecticons that was in that movie. He got demolished in that movie, actually. And I cherished that toy. That toy was something that was so important to me because it was with somebody that I adored, really looked up to, went to one of my favorite movies. I was like 6 or 7 years or 5 years old even. I remember it all so vividly. And it's all of those memories combined. And that's what's going to happen this coming year when this movie drops. And then Galaxy's going to be on store shelves, or they're going to be excited to go watch a movie based on the game that they got for Christmas. And I think it's really important to remember that this is for kids, that they get to build those memories that we all know and love, and is the reason we are still here talking about this stuff, playing these games, and why we have the community that we do. So super cool stuff from Nintendo. I love what they're doing. I think it's brilliant business, but I also think there is some fan service here, regardless of what you think of the price. I think they're doing something cool that's going to add some great memories for generations to come. And that's super cool to me. This is one of the biggest shockers. Everybody was expecting baseball, and now we are getting Mario Tennis Fever. And I will say I was a little bit disappointed to see that the all of the different hits were the same, but the moves from Aces are gone. You can do a slide and a dive. So it's a little bit more simulation, a little bit less arcadey, but then the rackets come into play and that changes things up. Now, fingers crossed for me, because there are so many rackets, that there may be a racket that still allows some of that movement that was in Aces. I'm hoping. But the rackets do add this element of arcade gameplay that I am excited to jump into. Seeing that there's a mini mushroom racket and Bowser just got shrunk right there. Or watching the shadow racket where a second version of yourself comes out. And there's over 30 rackets. So 38 characters. It's worth noting there were 30 characters in the last game. This game, I think, basically features the baby characters that weren't in the last game. So there's your 38. It's just basically the base, the same characters from the last game. So they're reusing some assets, it's looking like. I don't know for sure if this is going to be Switch 2 only. I maybe I can check at the beginning of this video here. It might say. I'm hoping I can just kind of mouse over it without having to click on it. So they just go straight into the trailer. So we'll have to wait and see. I can't really tell based on the graphics if it is a Switch 1 game and a Switch 2, or how they're doing it exactly. What I found interesting is the gameplay didn't look quite as sharp as the adventure mode. And here's the thing. There's people that are excited for the adventure mode. That's what they love the sports games for, is the adventures, the RPG elements. So that only has a Switch 2 logo. So it's looking like it's strictly Switch 2. So they are going to start making that transition, which makes sense. The thing for me, I don't need those adventure modes. That's not why I get these games. I'll play through it. It's probably not going to take super long. I love the fact we just saw that they're going to be using the Wonder Seeds. There was a lot of anticipation and wondering if Wonder Seeds were going to be in Mario Kart World. They weren't, but I love seeing that it's going to be incorporated into tennis, and I'm looking forward to Mario Tennis Fever because I love tennis. I'm hoping we get more people playing this time around and it has a little bit longer tail. That's honestly all I want to see because I had so much fun with Aces. I played Aces way longer than most. I guarantee it. And at one point, it was even a pack-in title with the Switch. So what we're seeing now is Mario Wonder and Bellabelle Park. Now, this is a bunch of local multiplayer. From what I've seen or heard, I'm pretty sure that is the case. It's only local, which is a huge bummer if that's the case, especially since this game has online, kind of. The online was a bit strange. You couldn't like interact with each other. You just kind of raced each other. But some of these mini games look super creative, just very, very Nintendo, which gets me excited. There's like basically like a prop hunt game. There's also run, hide, Fanto tag, I think is great. And so I'm really excited for this, but I do hope that there is more than just local multiplayer because it just opens up the possibility for, playing with the community and that kind of stuff. But it does look good. It looks like they've got some mouse games incorporated into it where you can set up the donut blocks to help your the other players in co-op. And so it looks like there's also some rhythm games going on. They were showing just running through the level and catching the bomb. So I mean, it looks like there's a fair amount of content here. It's just a matter of being able to have someone to play this locally. That's honestly the only kind of downfall of it if that's the way it goes. Looks like there's also some team games, so a lot of content. Now, what we just saw on the screen were the Koopa Kids or the Koopalings. It looks like they're also showing some new levels. It looks like they're also including these Bellflowers. Didn't give us a lot of info there. Lots to speculate about. If it has all the Koopalings, potentially it's going to have 8 new worlds and boss fights, which I am here for. I think is fantastic. They don't look like they're all like crazy, like from the Wonder Flower, like Bowser Jr. was. And so it may be a little bit more traditional. They didn't give us a lot of info. They basically showcased the multiplayer, which I think from going to their website, you can learn that it is local only. And then at the end, they showed this toy, this flower, this talking flower. And it's going to be, you're going to see it on my shelf behind me when it launches this spring. And I was watching this with my girlfriend's kids and they were like, you're going to get us each one of those, right? So we'll be getting at least 3 of them. And I think it's hilarious. And I'm here for it. So really excited for what they're doing with Wonder. Next up, we're still within the 40th anniversary here. A new Yoshi game, a new Yoshi game, and you've got Mr. E, which is such a great name. He's an encyclopedia. This Yoshi game, it looks beautiful. I will say I'm oftentimes not super drawn into Yoshi games. They don't hold my attention the way I would like them to. And so, I was a little bummed out when I saw that this was the last game for the 40th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers, that it wasn't something more Mario. Yoshi is still, technically Mario. And what do we know is coming? In Super Mario Galaxy, the movie, Yoshi is the Easter egg at the end of Super Mario Brothers movie. So Yoshi is going to be potentially a big part of the next movie. So what's going to be on store shelves? Galaxy and Yoshi after this movie. So again, I think it is very very intentional that we're going to be seeing the Galaxy games and the Yoshi game after the movie. it'll it really has the chance to do numbers um to really see some good sales, especially if Yoshi is a major role in the next movie, and I think that is going to be the case. I wouldn't be surprised if Yoshi talked. Maybe he's the only one that talks. I'm not quite sure how they'll handle it. Maybe he will just make his cute sounds, but like it'll be kind of like a almost like an R2D2 kind of thing where he makes the sounds, but like you kind of know what he's referencing or what he's trying to say. I'm not sure how they're going to do it, but I have a feeling it'll be such a large role that having a Yoshi game along with the Mario Galaxy game will be a success for Nintendo. Again, graphically, the game looks beautiful. I loved how it looked. I'm just hoping that it can pull me in. I've had fun with Yoshi games. I'm just hoping they can pull me in. So, next up we have Storm into what is it called? Let me back it up here. It's called Storm Lancers. Okay, that's the name of the game. It looks like the level that they're the world they are a part of was like Cryptica or something like that. So, it looks like a 2D kind of Contra-esque. I think it's a roguelike, and I'll be real. I kind of just tuned out. This just didn't look like something for me with everything that is coming out right now. It could end up being something super, super cool. I'm not sure, and maybe I'll dig into it more, but it was like just coming off of seeing Galaxy and Yoshi, and it felt like a little bit weird pacing. It's out now. So maybe they'll end up being a demo. I will say this. I know some of the folks at Probably Monsters, and they do good work. So when I saw that, I was a little more interested. But just initially, I was like, okay. I mean, it has some cool looking graphics. And I've been doing a ton of side-scrolling stuff recently with Ninja Gaiden. Want to pick up Shinobi. I did the demo of that. Silk Song, right? So it's like getting a little bit of fatigue on the side-scrolling stuff. So it may be something that I look at later, but I've got to learn more about it before I make that decision. So the next game up here was like a farm sim, like had some Animal Crossing vibes. And honestly, I was like, yo, is Dr. Grant in this game? And as you can see, they're kind of running through the forest. It's called Dinkum. Not something that like really did a whole bunch for me, but it is coming out November 5th. So if it's, if you're into those cozy games, they're making their way. This next one here, I honestly thought the character kind of looked like Mighty Number 9. That's what I thought we were seeing. But this is a game that basically, it's a Popcom, I think is what it's called. I may not have said that correctly, but you basically have to use colors. So it's kind of like a 3D puzzle game, basically. So you have to shoot your colors into each of the monsters, or if you're doing a little bit of traversal there, you can use the correct colors to be able to move through the stages. So kind of an interesting gameplay loop, and it could be kind of fun. It's not something that really, that when I saw it, I was really blown away by it. But watching it again, like I've watched this direct a couple times. This is my third time watching it, and it does look a little bit more fun than what I initially thought. So that's coming out holiday 2025. Curious on the pricing and everything of that one. See what happens. Now, getting into some Nintendo first party stuff. Tomodachi Life finally gets it looks like they moved up the release date, and this game is just wacky and weird. If you want to see just how bizarre Nintendo can be, check out Tomodachi Life. Your imagination can run wild. Like, my daughters would be laughing and giggling and having a great time. I'm going to get this game strictly for the memes. Like, there is a community of people that are so excited for this. that they do talk about it fairly regularly on X, and I'm so happy for them. I'm so happy for them that they're getting this game. Like, this is a childhood game. Like, my daughters, I guarantee you, are going to lose it. They're going to lose it when they finally can start playing this game. And I mean, right? They're talking about, they're showing on screen right now, feeding your me. Literally just gave it a head of cabbage. Like, and Alice liked it. And this me is just sleeping on a sidewalk. Susie, just sleeping on a sidewalk. You pick up another me, and then you allow them to interact and meet, and then they'll start telling each other jokes, having these conversations. You can see their friendships start to flourish, and then eventually, like, my daughters used to put on shows with these me's, and they would fall in love and break up, and it was like all this drama. There's super scopes falling all over that me. I don't even know what is up with that. And then in one of the scenes, it's just all these little tiny me's coming out of the tree and running off. So 2026, I think they tell us, like, or maybe they're just saying it right now. It may just be spring. There we go. So spring 2026. Curious if it'll be before fiscal year or after, but I know there are quite a few people looking forward to this one. So here we go. Here's the and it's the guy that's presenting, I believe. Maybe not. I thought it was initially. I thought it was his suit and tie, but well, I don't know. He walked on. It may have been him. I'm not sure. He kind of played into it like it was. So that I just love that kind of stuff. It's we're not at the levels of having Reggie and Iwata by any means, but you can see some of them want to have a little bit of fun there. So next up, I believe we got some Mortal Kombat. Played this at PAX. Cannot wait for this one. I'll probably end up double dipping on this. I'll get it digitally so I can play it as soon as it comes out, but it would be great to have the physical. It will kind of depend too if it's a key card or not. Like, if they are able to do a full Switch 2 physical, I'll probably get it that way. I believe it is coming to Switch 1 as well, so that may be the route. I haven't seen what the different pre-orders are on it, but I love Mortal Kombat. It is such a childhood game. Like, I love that they are showing in some of this footage, they are showing the Super Nintendo version of the game, and I absolutely love that. All right, next up here we got Final Fantasy VII. Played this one. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade looks gorgeous on Switch 2. Cannot wait to experience this. This is one of the my most anticipated RPGs on Switch 2 or JRPGs. I have wanted to play this game since it was I got to see it at PAX. Square Enix kind of gave me a little behind the scenes, and I was like, this is amazing. This is amazing. So January 22nd, it's $39.99 is the price on this one. Now, I know it's not a super long game, but I'm kind of excited about that. I'm kind of excited that it's coming in smaller chunks. So excited about that. Be able to jump in and play some Final Fantasy. Looking at the screen now, I didn't even catch the name of this one. Let me backtrack a little bit here and see what this one's called. It looks like another farming sim slash, like, you got the town builder. They'll tell the name. It's called Linked. It's available. It's already out. And again, you got some just more cozy games. It looks like it's digital on both Switch 2 and Switch. So if you're a cozy fan, you are eating well right now. Hades 2. I know there are so many people looking forward to this one. Only a few more days on this. I think it's just a couple weeks and it's going to be out. I believe it's September 25th. We'll see the date here shortly. I'm excited for this one. Honestly, like, I need to play some of the first game. I've been trying to play Ninja Gaiden while I fall asleep at night, and that is not a game to try to fall asleep with. And so I think I need something like I think I'm gonna dive into Fire Emblem a little bit, some more like RPG stuff. I've been doing my Switch Lite. Just been playing on my Switch Lite, keeping it right by the bed, keeping it charged there, and been having a great time. But I'm thinking Hades, the first one, might be a good bedtime game to do a quick run or something like that, because I know it's a roguelike. I just need to get uh used to and try to enjoy these roguelikes, because I'm not quite there yet. But I know Cheesy has told me, he's like, this will be the one. This will be the game that gets you excited um about doing roguelikes. So I'm excited to try the first one and then immediately jump into the second one. I know you guys are like me though. Sometimes you're like, yo, I'll beat the first one real quick and then play the second. You're like, yo, I'm burned out. I'm burned out, So, but this one, it is looking great. It looked, when I was watching it at PAX, I can't remember if I played it or not, or I know I watched some people play it. I was maybe grabbing footage. Just, it's running smooth. It's running so smooth. It's got that. I think one of the things that's going to kind of pull me in is it's got that Diablo vibe, and I really did enjoy Diablo the little bit I played on Switch. So I think that's what's gonna pull me in here. It looks like the characters and everything and the story is probably just gonna be fantastic. So I'm excited to jump into Hades 2 and get to experience that. So it looks like coming up, we're going to be seeing some Kirby Air Riders. So I'm I'm pumped for this game. Honestly, like, I'm pumped. And I think it's going to be a fun party game, and I think it's going to be a fun family game. I think it's going to be a fun community game. It's just going to be a matter if a lot of people pick it up. And I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'll probably say it lots. They need to drop a demo. I think if people can actually play it, go hands-on with it, that's going to help move copies of this game, because it is really fun. It's different, so different than Mario Kart, like not even remotely the same. Your whole mindset is different going into playing this game, and depending on the modes, there's a lot of modes. The amiibo are $50 a pop in the States, so do keep that in mind. It's a bit steep, but they are interchangeable, which is kind of cool. And apparently, based on, like, I think some tweets, don't quote me on this, but I think Sakurai was surprised to hear that he was doing a second direct for Kirby Air Riders. I mean, I can imagine why he would be surprised at 45 minutes of the last one, and he has to do another one. I could understand why he was a little bit surprised that Kirby Air Riders was getting a second direct. But hopefully it'll show really well. Now, we get The Legend of Zelda: Age of Imprisonment from Koei Tecmo, and this is obviously a Hyrule Warriors game. Age of Imprisonment. It's not Legend of Zelda. It's a Hyrule Warriors, but I'm so looking forward to this. I loved the last one. I had such a good time with the last one. Here's what's interesting. The Metroid Amiibo come out the same day that this game comes out. So I think the question has been answered on why we weren't getting release dates for this game and Metroid Prime, because they were waiting to see who was going to fill which spot. And this game is now coming out November 6th, the same day as the Metroid Amiibo, and Metroid is coming out December 4th, I believe, December 4th or December 5th. And I think it's a pretty clear indicator that Retro's just needing a little bit more time. And again, there's those conversations online about, like, they maybe ran into some hiccups with who knows what, dealing with some bugs or whatever the case may be. And now, they get that extra month. Hopefully it's enough time. The last thing we need is for Metroid Prime 4 to come out with some kind of, like, game breaking bugs or something that just takes away from the overall experience. I do want to note, I'd make note of the fact that, like, Hyrule Warriors has game share, and you can share it with somebody on the OG Switch, which is just a fantastic feature. And I love that Nintendo is doing that. Super, super cool. What I'm curious about is what it looks like to share it with another Switch 2. Because they always show an older Switch when they do game share. They don't show a Switch 2. So I'm curious on how it would look on Switch 2. But really excited for Hyrule Warriors. This game was a shock for a lot of people, and it is Dragon Quest VII. Now, I've seen some super funny memes of, the way the art style is for some of these characters. They kind of look like that. That there's a from the makers of South America. Oh, what is it? Team America something police. I can't remember the title of it. It's been too long, but like that, they kind of look like the dolls from that movie, at least one of these characters. And so I've been laughing at the different memes, but this apparently, I don't have any nostalgia, any pull towards these Dragon Quest games. I love the HD 2D, and in fact, that's one that I want to dive into. Nintendo sent me the third one last holiday, so that'll be one I fire up on my Switch Lite. But I'm really excited for this game just from hearing the community talk about it. From seeing the trailer, I'm like, oh, it looks cool. I love the art style. JRPGs are great. Sometimes I'm a little bit leery of them just because of how long they take to complete. But hearing just how much the community loves this game in particular within this series, I'm like, I got to give this one a try. I have to. So really excited for this one. But my initial response was just like, oh, cool. Another, I feel like we see Dragon Quest almost every direct. I don't know if you guys agree, but I mean, we've had different Dragon Quest mainline games, remastered, reimagines, Dragon Quest Builders 1 and 2. Like, seems like Dragon Quest is in these directs quite often. So that one, I look like it's coming out February 5th. So I am looking forward to that. And again, the art style is just fun. Like, it's just fun. I love to see it's almost like a Pixar movie is kind of what it looked like. And so I'm really excited for that. So next up, they're just kind of talking about the Nintendo Today app and that it's going to be getting an update. And then the surprise that not a lot of people are excited about. And I know I'm in the minority on this, but I think this is super cool. I love the history of Nintendo. So having Virtual Boy and being able to play all of the games, or at least I don't think it's all of them, but I think there's like 14 of them that are going to be available. This is not something that I'm going to like sit down and play for hours and hours and hours. It's a novelty. It is most definitely a novelty. But I never got to experience it as a kid. I've often thought about trying to get it and collect all of the games. I don't think I own any Virtual Boy games yet. I wanted to, start adding to my collection just periodically as I came across them, just because it is, it is still a part of Nintendo's history. But I have a feeling that it's going to have some games that were probably very enjoyable, but I liken them to the Game Boy games. Like, we saw that boxing game and that tennis game. And so I'm kind of thinking there's going to be some puzzle games where I do think there is a miss with this. And maybe there'll be some kind of workarounds. But I would prefer them to have sold, like, do the plastic, the actual Virtual Boy, do the cardboard, but then also do glasses. Like, just if there's some kind of glasses you can put on to be able to play these on screen, so that way you could stream them and not have to set up that thing to be able to play. That's honestly the biggest deterrent. Like, and if you have to hold your Switch to your head and then use the controller while you're looking through at the cardboard, that's also kind of strange. I don't know. And again, I don't understand the technology, but I would think that there would be some kind of a way that you could just put on glasses and see them on the screen. I could be completely wrong. Let me know in the comments if you guys think I'm crazy. But again, I just feel like there might be something there, but I don't understand how the lens technology works and all that kind of stuff. I just know it would have been nice to not have to put my face into the game to play. And here's what I do know: there is a version that I did see somebody playing on their 3DS. I'm not setting it up. I'm not doing it. They were playing without the goggles. So it is doable. That's all I'm going to say on it. It is doable. So wish that would have been the case, that it wasn't locked. It's just kind of like this is locked behind this paywall of having to get this cardboard or this plastic. Again, I think it's cool. I think it's a novelty. It'll be fun to display. But it's not how I want to sit. Like, those games are going to get far less playtime. I can tell you that because of that. So we just saw a One Piece game. Now we're seeing Overcooked 2, Nintendo Switch 2 edition. Looks like they got the camera going for that. And Overcooked is fantastic. So excited to see that make its way to Switch 2. Stardew Valley is getting an update. You can use your mouse if you want. So I know there's going to be people excited about that. You can also do 4-player local split screen. So that might be kind of cool. I don't know. I've spent a little bit of time with Stardew, but I do know there's a lot of people that love Stardew Valley. The next up was Human Fall Flat, which is just one of those games that's like very bizarre to me. And I'm always like, who is the one who's playing this? Who's playing these games? They remind me of like Fall Guys. And so I know very little about them. A game I do know a little bit about now is Power Wash Simulator. And I just started playing this because of you guys on stream. And this was so fun, so relaxing. And Power Wash Simulator 2 going to be making its way to Switch 2. Obviously, looks like there's new soaps and new ways to clean. And so really looking forward to that. I would love it, and I think you guys would agree, if Nintendo gave them some IP and let them dirty up Peach's Castle and maybe some of Dreamland, like some of the Splatoon areas. Let us power wash some of these. You can do like Bikini Bottom and stuff like that, but like, I think it would be great to be able to go in and clean up some of Nintendo's own IPs. Hyrule Castle, there's a lot of fun that could be had, and there's been other game crossovers that have happened with Power Wash Simulator. So I'm like, that would make the Switch version so much more appealing. Not that it's less appealing, but when you add that into the Switch version, just like Star Fox on what was it called? Was it called? Was it Starlink? I think that's what it was called. The Ubisoft game. And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I'll look it up real quick to make sure, because I hate when I can't remember. Star Fox. Starlink. Yeah, there we go. Starlink, Battle for Atlas. So I was right. So that game did numbers because Star Fox was in it. So that IP holds some weight. So it'd be cool to see them do something like that. Now, I can't remember the name of this one. It's like, I feel like I don't honestly say it right, but we're gonna backtrack the video just a little bit here. I had a great time with the fruit matching phenomenon returns, and I had so much fun playing this game and trying to get 2 watermelons. Suka game, that's right, Game Planet. And now you can do it with like 4 people. You're playing on a sphere. And so that's also pretty cool. Like, I love that this game wasn't just like a one and done, but they're keeping it going. I think that's fantastic, and I kind of can't wait to jump in and be playing this again. And again, having multiplayer right on screen, or being able to game share like they're doing. Oh, they are showing the Switch 2 game share. It does still shrink the screen quite a bit. It looks like it shrinks it for the main Switch as well. So that's interesting. It also shrinks on the Switch Lite, which is like, is there anything there? So kind of cool to see them get a watermelon there, and that's coming out this winter. So anytime between December and March, basically. But that will definitely be a day one purchase for me. I loved the last one. I thought it was great. Here we go. We are now seeing Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. This looks gorgeous. So like just gritty. And then we see Samus come out on a bike. The conversation online has been all about the desert looking kind of barren. Maybe there's a reason for it. This is also a Switch 1 game, so we have to keep that in mind. I don't care. I am excited. I love seeing this bike looks fun. Like it looks fun. And also, it's a desert. I think they showed this intentionally. Because I mean, there's a handful of enemies out here, but I wonder if there's something a bit more diabolical going on. And how fun is it going to be to traverse that land with this bike, still fighting monsters and sliding around? It's going to be amazing. Like I cannot wait. Then we see the scene in the ice, and there's very little. The vision is terrible. There's these ice wolves just attacking Samus. Game looks epic. Like it looks epic. It looks cinematic. I am going to lose myself in this. This is going to be my turn the lights off, throw on the headphones, crank it up, and just lose myself in Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I cannot wait. They've got 3 amiibo coming out. Again, we can see the release date 11/6 for Samus and her on the bike, and then 12/4 for Silux. So very interesting there. Now, this was kind of a shocker. This was Donkey Kong DLC. Nintendo sent me a code day of. I walked into my office and I was like, am I going to buy this game, this DLC? And I looked at it and I was like, I'm going to wait. I want to see what other people think first. And then I got an email from Nintendo saying, hey, go jump into the Donkey Kong DLC. I haven't played all of it. When I play it, I have a ton of fun. A lot of people want to know, is it worth the $20? I would say this. If I had spent the $20, I would not be upset because of the fun that I have been having. If you have beat the game, you can play the DLC, but you have to beat the game first. So keep that in mind. Don't purchase it without completing the game first. From my understanding, you can't access this until you complete the main story. I feel like Donkey Kong Bonanza is a full retail game that was not missing any content, has quite a bit to do, like post, like end game, if you will, and so this is fun. This is like it's a bit of it is kind of like a roguelike. You go through and you keep getting skills and you keep, you get better pants and better tie and it starts adding to the overall experience and it's super cool. A bit on the disappointing side is that Kong Island really doesn't have too much going on. Like, it's great to go back to and see Diddy and Grumpy and Candy Kong as a poster on the wall, and Funky Kong's surfboard is in the his Donkey Kong's house or whatever. But it doesn't feel like that was well utilized, which is unfortunate because it would have been really fun to have some kind of story element take place on that island and then have this Emerald Rush. If that had been the case, I would absolutely 100% say go and get this right now. As is, the Emerald Rush is a very fun mode. I do think you'll get your money's worth with it. But if you're somewhat burned out on the game, or maybe you didn't love just this is it's really about just smashing emeralds. That's what this is about. You're going through, you're trying to get a quota. You hit a number, and then you have like, I think it's 90 seconds. You get the number, um, you move to the next level, and then you got to do that 10 times. And you're building up different power-ups along the way. And it's fun. It's enjoyable. Every time I've played it, I've probably played for an hour or longer, just not able to put it down. But that's what it is. Like, it's just that. So, take with that info what you will. I am enjoying it. I think it is fun. I would not have regretted my purchase. I know Johnny Bo picked it up. He's also said it's fun. But there are people that I've seen saying, why wasn't this a pack in? Why is it $20? So I get it. Wherever you fall, that's completely on you. I'm just letting you know I did like it. I did like it. It doesn't, I got no, I benefit zero from telling you that, right? Like I'm not sending you to any kind of links or anything like that. It was fun. It was fun. So if you want more Donkey Kong, you want more reason to smash stuff, definitely get the DLC. If you don't really care about that and the story was all you needed, then stay away from the DLC. Next up, we are looking at what could potentially be one of the biggest games come out on Switch 2. And that is, I think it's called Pokemon. We're going to see I rewound it just a little bit too far here. I want to catch the name. It pops out with a Ditto. I don't know if it says the name right away. I don't think it does. Yeah, it doesn't say the name. So this game starts with a Ditto, and you're basically like, it's like a farming sim. It's like Animal Crossing meets Minecraft meets Pokemon. And I'm honestly, I'm a bit nervous about this game because I have a feeling it's going to suck me in, and I'm going to be all in on this one. I have a feeling I'm going to be all in on it. And the Ditto is honestly kind of terrifying. Somebody was like, "Oh, it's Ditto looking like a human." Like, you're using that term human kind of lightly. I think there's going to be some cool exploration in this game. You're essentially growing Pokemon based on what you do on your farm. So that's going to be fun. And I just think there's going to be that the cozy gamers are gonna love this one. And I think it's great that Pokemon went this direction and did something like this. I obviously want to get in hands-on myself, like see what it's like. What is the gameplay loop exactly like? And what is the what's this like? How many hours are we gonna put into this game? And we're seeing like Squirtle and Bulbasaur and a Charmander. Obviously, I assume they're going to evolve over time. How it all works, I am unaware, but like it is some serious Animal Crossing vibes. Like you're seeing them terraform, but then the terraforming turns into blocks, and then you're seeing them build like very Animal Crossing. Then you're seeing plants being grown, which is like very like Stardew Valley or Harvest Moon. Right now there's a hut. Now there's some more terraforming going on screen. Like, and the Pokemon are just following the Ditto around. Like now they're sitting at a campfire. Everybody's passed out and sleeping. Like this game looks adorable, honestly. And I am again. This is my third time watching this. I'm even more excited for this. Oh, there's a Leafeon. Like Pokemon. It's so strange. I should not have like any kind of nostalgia for it, really. But I'm a sucker. I am a sucker for Pokemon. So, that one looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. And at the end of they showed a Poke Center, which I'm so curious. That looks like maybe some kind of end game stuff. I do know this: the game runs on a real life clock. So whatever time you have your Switch set for is the time it will be in the game, and so that's kind of fun. I like Animal Crossing is the same way, right? So a lot of similarities there, and I think it could be a huge hit. Huge, huge hit. I do want to see when it comes out. Like if they had the date, I can't remember, but I want to touch on that just real quick. I can't even remember how to say the name of the game. It's like um they're just showcasing everything again. Get to the end here. Here we go. There's that Poke Center. And at the end, it looks like a Pokemon, like they brought the 2D to life, you know. Pokopia, right? I think that's how you say it. So, but I don't know if it had a I don't think it had a date. I don't think it had a date on that one. So we'll have to wait and see. And maybe they'll show the date here as they're talking about it a second time, but uh, yeah, like I said, I think cozy gamers are going to love this one. My face hurts from smiling right now because it looks like it's going to be super fun. Here comes Pokemon Legends ZA Switch 2 edition. The way to play this, get that bundle if you haven't picked up a Switch 2 yet. This game, one of my most anticipated games of this year. Like I can't wait till next month. I will be no life in this game. Guarantee you. You guys are gonna be like, what happened to why isn't there any podcasts coming out? Why isn't there any YouTube videos? Oh, Josh is playing Pokemon ZA. It was so fun at PAX. I really, really enjoyed this. And I'm so like I think the wait from not having a Pokemon game for a year essentially, I think it's been good. I think like my anticipation for this is high. So I'm really looking forward to it. And you know, I'm just excited to fight Pokemon. Like I don't really care about the story. I'm just excited to run around, collect Pokemon, fight Pokemon, do these mega evolution battles because it was so fun, and just try to get really good at that. And I hope the multiplayer is fun. I hope the online multiplayer ends up being something that a lot of us get into, and ends up being something that is played for a while. I'm really, really, really hopeful. So October 16th cannot get here fast enough. What do we got next? Oh yeah, they're showcasing the DLC for Pokemon coming up, and we're gonna fast forward a little bit here. We got the finger snap there. A Killer Return to Paradise. So this is one I have no nostalgia for whatsoever. I don't know anything about it. There was quite a bit of buzz about this game that I was seeing online. People seem to be pretty excited about it, but again, I know nothing about it. Dagadon Ronpa 2, I think is how you say it. Like, and I think that's also the first one. I got nothing. It all I was told is if you like Emio and you like Ace Attorney, it's one to check out. Well, I like both of those, so I may end up jumping into that as well because I do really enjoy those. And the way people were talking about it, it sounds like it's got a pretty amazing story. Next up, we have a Dragon Warriors game, which is kind of funny. We're technically getting two of these in the direct with Hyrule Warriors, but it honestly looks epic. I wasn't a huge fan of these games until Hyrule Warriors, and that's when I really started getting into them. What I find it strange is that the words paid DLC was said so often during this direct that I think it was a bit frustrating. This game is like some of these screenshots or this videos nuts, just nuts. This one's coming out the same day as Final Fantasy VII on the Switch as well. But some crazy stuff on screen, like so many bodies just flying through the air. Monster Hunter Stories 3 is also really piqued my interest. It looks like a much more mature RPG than the other ones. I gotta check the other ones out, honestly. I need to see if there's something that I would like. This one, it just kind of gives some Xenoblade Chronicles vibes. And a bit more just like JRPG. What I heard about the last ones that I never played is it was kind of like Monster Hunter Pokemon in a way. And so they're showing so much cool stuff where you can change between the monsters. and I'm very curious about like the battle system. The story looks very interesting on this one, and so I'm a huge Monster Hunter fan. So very curious on this, and I'm loving the art style. There's so much about this game that I'm very intrigued by. Oh, and there was some of the battles happening right there. It looks like they're kind of turn based. They also look super epic. Like, yo, I think this one is going to be for me March 13th. So a few days after Mario Day. I need to pick up the other two and see if they're like it. We got the sizzle reel coming up here. They got 2 Point Museum. It looks kind of like a tycoon game, if you will. And then Disgaea 7 Complete, which looks like some kind of a bit of a JRPG, I'm assuming. EA Sports FC 26. Don't sleep on this one. Even if you're not a soccer fan, if you're looking for a sports game, I don't know why you would be, but it was fun. I had a great time with it. More Dragon Quest, HD 2D, Virtual Fighter 5. That one's coming soon. Coming this winter. I saw a tweet from Nintendo today on that one. So great to see more fighting games. Lego Voyagers came out 2 days ago. I guess it's really good, but it's just short. So just keep that in mind. It's a bit short, but IGN did give it a decent review. They just said it was short. Little Nightmares 3 here is so good. I played it at PAX West. It was great. Persona 3 Reload. Persona are games I do want to get into at some point. I'm just not really even sure where to start. And again, so much to play, right? Just so much to play. This was one of the biggest, like, it was a bit spoiled. A lot of us kind of knew it was coming. A Resident Evil 9 day and date with the other consoles coming to Switch 2. This is a day one. Also, 7 and 8 are coming to Switch 2 same day. That is fantastic. I hope there's a good deal on those ones since they are older. I hope they aren't going for like full price. It'd be nice if there was like a bundle or something. So hopefully they are fair. They do keep the pricing pretty good. I'm hoping. I'm almost through 7 on my Xbox. I think it was one of the last disc games I bought on my Xbox, and I don't have it with me, so I can't. I was like, I'm gonna finish this after playing 9. I don't have it, so I gotta buy it. It's like I think it's $20 on Xbox, so it's not bad. I'm like the very end of the game, so I need to jump in. But played 9 at PAX West, so good, you guys. If you like these scary games, it was so fun, so fun getting to jump back into Resident Evil, and excited to see. I really hope the Switch 2 just becomes a Resident Evil machine. I would love to see a bunch of the older games make their way with Switch 2 versions as well. I think it would be great. And I know Capcom and Nintendo have a great relationship. And so we should potentially see a lot of the Resident Evil games make their way to Switch 2. The final announcement was Fire Emblem. And I was feeling a bit like Fire Emblem is like 4 years into the life cycle of the Switch, we share something like this. Not now. This game looks incredible. I was when the trailer was all said and done, I was like, no, this was good. This was good. It looks like a PlayStation-esque game as far as like it looks very mature. It looks very cinematic. And then of course you've got the chess matches of Fire Emblem, essentially, right? With the action, or what is it called, like strategy RPG elements. And so the battles look really cool. The graphics look great. Like overall, this just looks like a really, really great experience. And so I'm excited. And when I step back and I look at everything we have Mario Kart, we have a Mario game, we have Pokemon, Legends ZA, Kirby, Donkey Kong, Age of Imprisonment, Zelda, Metroid. Six big ones from just Nintendo alone. Fire Emblem gets announced. We got third parties that are rocking and rolling. Like, and all I'm thinking about is like, there's going to be some kids on Christmas morning that are getting Switch 2s, getting a handful of games, and they're going to be having a blast. They're going to be having a blast. And so Nintendo is so healthy right now that they don't have to come out guns blazing, rushing to get all of their big hitters out right away. Mario Kart's a big hitter. It needs a little love. Needs a little bit of love, okay? The best way to play that game, guys, especially if you're playing alone, like I've been playing just by myself, I just go into versus, I race against bots, and I do 4 to 32 races. I actually want to start speed running that game where you just do all 32 tracks as fast as you can with bots. And so you just never know what's going to happen. But I've had so much fun just doing 3-lap races. It's been so great. So great. So that's the Direct. Fire Emblem to close us out. I'm glad I took just a minute to stop worrying about how excited other people are and just focused on myself. I'm stoked. Nintendo, I think, knows exactly what they're doing. They're knocking it out of the park. We've got so much to play, more than I can even keep up with. Borderlands is coming. It's out on other consoles right now. It's coming. Like, just so many good games right now. So many good games. I haven't even picked all of them up. I didn't pick up Outlaws yet. I didn't pick up Shinobi. I want to finish some stuff. I was talking with Nadine. I'm like, I gotta finish some of these games before I keep just buying stuff and adding it to the collection. Damon Machina X2. Like, I want to get that one. That one's fantastic. Like, there's just so many. So many. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, whether you're on Spotify or YouTube. Love to hear what you're thinking of the Direct. And hope you guys are all amazing. Remember, most importantly, play it loud.